that you love, covering all things professional wrestling. A show by members of the Busted Open Nation. Welcome to the Nation's Corner. Here are your hosts, the Nation's Corner crew.
Good evening, Nation's Corner, friends, family, and fans. John of South Jersey here, welcoming you to yet another edition of the Nation's Corner. And joining me tonight is my unusual cast of usual suspects. First and foremost, ladies and gentlemen, he is the world's greatest truck driver, bar none, with the bespoke Smokey and the Bandit hat on tonight. Because in a world full of bandits, be the snowman. He is
What's going on?
The pride of Texas, ladies and gentlemen, Tony Justice. What's up, brother?
How y'all doing tonight? Happy Valentine's Day, everybody.
Oh, yeah, that made up holiday.
Or if you care to celebrate, it's Happy Single Awareness Day.
Valentine's Day.
You can get free cheeseburgers at Wendy's. So there's that if you're single.
Yeah.
But anyway, I digress. But also here, all the way from Monrovia via the Long Island Expressway. Why is he showing his shirt? Why?
Who knows what goes through that head?
I'm showing my shirt. Till death do us part, me and Mrs. Mongrovian.
Okay, all right.
I wonder how many times that thought has crossed her mind.
But she kills me. She's my Valentine's.
Yes. We all love Miss Jackie.
Yes, we
but
do.
He is Mongrovian Mike. So besides your wife trying to kill you, which may or may not be a good thing, how are you?
All right, man. How's everybody doing?
We're
doing
getting
good.
by.
Yes, we are.
It's actually above freezing here on the East Coast this week. So
Yeah, how about that?
We still got a shit ton of snow, but at least it's above freezing. So we'll just be flooded within the next week or so. And last but not least, she is the social media maven of the Nation's Corner. But more importantly, she is my tag team partner in the hottest intergender wrestling tag team in professional wrestling today. She is one half of Three Piece and a side, and that side is GFY. Two breasts and one leg. She is the great and powerful Debhausen.
How's it going? I am.
He's
doing good.
I am without.
Get more add-ons.
I am speechless. I am without
Bully.
speech.
You get more add-ons than Bully.
Yeah, for real.
Is she a groovy cat? Is she a groovy?
All right.
Anywho,
Nice.
He does not have a
wearing
sandpapery smooth
this
for you.
shirt tonight.
Reach for the sky,
Nice.
boy.
Them boys, the Briscoes. We got Mark Briscoe and Kyle Fletcher 7 happening
Yes.
tonight.
With a ladder
So I
involved.
got
So
them boys on.
let's start with that because AEW is down under, mate. Good day.
Mhm.
Grand Slam in Australia. I mean, from Sydney, Australia, is going on 8 o'clock tonight on TNT. A 2.5-hour show that is shaped up to be a very, very interesting card. Besides the aforementioned ladder match, it's the rematch. It's the match 7 of the quote-unquote best of 7 between Kyle Fletcher and Mark Briscoe for the TNT Championship. And if that wasn't enough, oh, by the way, it's a ladder match.
Yeah. Yeah.
But again, here's AEW doing something different than the norm, but cool for them and cool for wrestling. To me, cool for wrestling in general. They're putting on a pay-per-view quality show on regular TV at 2.5 hours. Now, all right, say what you want, and we have. I know I've said it, and we have commented and maybe complained in the fact that AEW sometimes is too long, especially when it comes to their pay-per-views.
Yeah.
But we're all used to the 1 or 2 hours a week. All right, SmackDown is 3 hours, but this is something cool for AEW because they make regular TV shows seem kind of special without going the full distance of a pay-per-view or something like that.
Yeah, and I think it's timed really well. I can't remember how the calendar happened last year, but this year it's timed really well because their last pay-per-view was World's End in December. Mm-hmm. And they have a really decent gap in between pay-per-views from December until March 15th when Revolution is. Yes. So I think this is a really good medium. So it's a pay-per-view level show, but a regular episode of TV halfway in between pay-per-views. And yeah, I just want to, since we're talking about Fletcher and Briscoe, I want to highlight this. I think everyone was shocked that Ciampa lost the title already. Mm-hmm. Yeah, huge shocking moment. I was not expecting that whatsoever. But to me, I have to think that it's pretty obvious that they have big plans for Ciampa, just in how they've already invested time and effort into promoting him so much. And just as we were on Zoom and watching along as it happened, it shocked everyone, but then it also turned into a 15-minute discussion of where things could go from here and the possibilities and the storyline and how Ciampa could get involved in Fletcher and Briscoe. To me, that's a win. It created interest. It created the discussion among everyone in the group, even though at first it was a holy shit, why would they do that?
Yeah.
Then we talked about it and we discussed. And so to me, that's a win.
Right. I mean, it got busted. First of all, before I go any further, I want to wish a happy belated birthday to Tommy Dreamer.
Yeah.
And a happy birthday to Drake's dad. He's celebrating a birthday today. He's 50 years old. So happy birthday. But yeah, so it got busted open to talk about AEW for, the next day on the show. Mm-hmm. When normally they just kind of gloss over if they even discuss it at all. But they, it was some talking points coming out of Wednesday night, I mean, none of us expected Ciampa to lose that title. We expected him to carry it for a while. And then when he lost it, I made the comment on Zoom when Mark Briscoe came out on the ramp. I was like, make it a 3-way. I wouldn't have been mad at making that title TNT Championship match a 3-way on a 3-way ladder match at that. Mm-hmm. I mean, we've seen Ciampa in some bangers on NXT during the Black and Gold era. Mm-hmm. We know he can deliver in those big matches like that. So that's why I thought that Ciampa was going to carry it for a lot longer than he did. But I'm willing to be patient and see what happens because Ciampa's not just going to go away and go to the back. I mean, he's going to be up front. He's going to be in some storylines. And I see them having they've got a nice with Briscoe and Ciampa and Fletcher. I mean, that is just like they're doing with the world title picture. They're crowding it up with contenders. They're doing the same thing, I think, with the TNT Championship.
My only disagreement with the whole thing is the timing. You just had Ciampa re-debut or debut in AEW. You go from that to a week later, he's TNT champion. To the following week, he's now not TNT champion.
Right.
That part I don't quite understand.
But that could be part of the story that they are telling.
And that's that. However, I'm very interested to see where they go now, because Kyle Fletcher, to me right now, especially after the year he had in 2025, Kyle Fletcher is a main event player. He's not a TNT champion. He's done that escalation with the TNT championship to main event status. But and I understand that it's kind of crowded around the world title right now. So I don't. I'm not mad at any of this. I just, if the whole idea was to get back to Fletcher and Briscoe, why didn't they just book that match and not even, figure out something else to do with Ciampa? But it is what it is. They did what they did. But yes, I'm still very interested in where they go from here. Because I agree, Ciampa is too good of a talent and has already made too much of an impact with the AEW fans that may or may not have been familiar with him. For him to just be a kind of a one and done kind of thing and be relegated back to catering.
Okay.
So I will point out along those lines, and I believe I even said this on Zoom on Wednesday night.
I don't know. I might have been asleep.
Any given Sunday, it was shocking. It was unexpected. It, was confusing to a lot of people, but how often have we heard Bully say on Busted Open, any given Sunday, anything can happen.
It shakes things up
at any point.
Anything can happen.
And then on Thursday, I go onto Instagram and Tommaso Ciampa made a post saying 11 days, I'll give myself one night to reflect, one night to sit with my emotions. But when that sun rises, we get back to work. No excuses, no what ifs, no regrets. Any given Sunday. AEW, we're the best wrestle. Congratulations, Kyle Fletcher. See you soon.
I like that.
See, so my I have a little bit of a theory too. Of course, I was, we were all surprised. So everyone's surprised how fast it flipped. And they all have their own theories, and I agree a little bit with everything. But the thing is, Ciampa is so good as a heel.
Mm-hmm.
So he came in, he got that big pop, he won the title. Now he lost to Fletcher, but I think that the story's going to be with him and Briscoe. John, do they have history?
They do.
Well,
absolutely do. Going back to original Ring of Honor.
So you're gonna see what I'm saying is, we know we're gonna see gold around or silver, whatever color. We're gonna see Sylvie or Goldie hanging around. Ciampa's waist sooner or later.
Yeah,
we know that. We know he's awesome, but. He's like, I think, a million times better as a heel, and the stuff he does, and so I think the violent matches that he can have with Briscoe supersede, a freaking stupid title belt to me, one of the zillion title belts and one of the minor title belts, but it is a title belt that's defended a hell of a lot more than all the other ones.
I saw a lot of clapback from people on social media, of course, saying, oh, they're just playing hot potato with the belt. That doesn't mean anything. It cheapens it.
No.
And my comment to that is GFY.
Fletcher held it for a while. What are they talking about? He did,
and I'm not mad that you can play hot potato with the title, but if you have to make it make sense. You just can't use the belt to prop somebody up for a week or 2 weeks or something like that, or get that pop of a title change.
Yeah.
But and AEW in the past has done stuff like that. They go for that instant pop. But I don't think that this is going to be the case with this. Yes, it was a quick change and everything else, and I don't see.
I have
as much as I ride or die for Mark Briscoe. I don't see him. I don't see Mark getting the title back tonight.
Yeah, it's too long to say, but I have the what is it? The acronym for it? No, not whatever. It's called TKADHD. And sometimes some of the storylines get affected by that, and that's okay, because you know what? Hey, listen, there's another guy who's, had his own toys for, another billionaire that had his own toys for a long time, that did a lot of shit that pissed us off too. So
Absolutely.
you know what? At the end of the day, it's fucking wrestling, and I'm gonna like a storyline or not. And we could pick storylines in AEW that I like, or we could pick storylines that I don't. We could do the same, vice versa in WWE. And like I always said, I always have a fun time at independent shows, especially Creative Pro. So
hashtag just enjoy wrestling.
That's whatever. You know, you don't have to dislike. You know.
Yeah. In the world, in the
I don't
world,
hate fans that like the other stuff. That's what it is. It's like I don't get vile towards other fans.
Right.
So
I do enjoy a good JD from Pittsburgh rant though. I cannot
stand that caller.
I'm sorry.
There's a few that. Go ahead.
Sorry. I want to talk about some more of the matches on Grand Slam tonight. I especially think the mixed tornado tag match is going to be quite interesting to see. With Tony and OC versus Yuta and Marina.
Oh wow!
Right.
I think most people are fully expecting that it's going to be Yuta that cuts his hair because
he's the one with the hair that's so wide.
Right, he's the one with the hair that everybody wants to see go.
Yes.
But I just want to kind of throw in there, what if it's Tony?
Is it whoever gets pinned?
Whoever
gets the pin.
Both people on the team lose their hair?
Not both people. Just
whoever gets
pinned. The pin.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so Orange Cassidy could then tattoo his head like an orange then and go with that gimmick for a while. No.
Yeah, no.
Can you see we heard the guys talking on Busted Open the other day. You could see Tony Storm embracing that, and she's so wacky in I think she like when they say you take the persona that you play on TV and go turn it up to 11, she's wacky in real life and she's just playing a wackier persona now. So I can see her, and she could do so many things,
Yeah.
And then again, if it's Marina,
for her to reinvent her character again.
Absolutely.
If it's Marina can go all G.I. Jane on everyone's ass and bring a ruckus to that fucking women's division.
That's what I'm hoping for.
Oh, you know what I'm saying? I mean, like, if Marina had to shave her head bald, does that make her any less badass?
No.
Does that make her character it makes her character even more scary?
Yes. I absolutely agree.
So we could go either way.
Yeah.
Or we could go what? The obvious, which would be Yuta, because look at him. Everybody probably looks at him and says, this boy needs, his grandma probably says, come on, lose the match.
Yeah. And that's the popular one. And, and I'm saying yes, absolutely, because fuck you, Yuta. But, but you're right. Well, all of you are right. That imagine Tony Storm having different wigs. Like 1 week she comes out with like a Bride of Frankenstein, like big Marge Simpson wig or something 1 week, just for the hell of it. The possibilities of her with it are endless, and we already know how she turns anything into gold and how committed she is to the character. So it would be another layer on top of an incredible character story.
And plus, she's crazy too.
Yeah,
this is the meeting about Tony being the one that gets a haircut.
And
TK goes, "Hey Tony,
do
you mind cutting your hair?" And then, within like 3 seconds, Tony says, "Sure."
Yeah,
let's do it.
And she's in front of a home country crowd. She is from Australia. Same as Kyle Fletcher.
Oi.
Yeah. So it would it surprise me? No. Would it be very entertaining? Absolutely. And I think that's one of the cool things about this match in particular, that you can make an argument pro or con about any one of the four of them losing their hair.
Yes.
Yeah. And to all their credit, they all understand the assignment because Orange Cassidy kept fixing his hair and saying, I can't lose this, So, everybody's like, oh, now, great, OC's going to be bald. But, it's one of the things we'll have to tune in and see how it works out.
Yep.
The other match, and we'll get back to Dynamite in a second, but the other match I'm very interested in is the Women's Tag Team Championship, Babes of Wrath versus Mega Band.
Yeah.
Penelope Ford and Megan Bayne. I'm very happy. I'm an OG Penelope Ford fan. I saw her when she was much younger, running around doing indies here in the Philadelphia area and the Northeast, and been a fan for her for a long time. Same with Megan Bayne. Is it time for them?
Now,
bear in mind, you have, just real quick, Tony, I'll get right back to you. Bear in mind, you have Megan Bayne Penelope Ford that just came back from an extended injury, not being in the ring. She was on TV, but not in the ring. But is it time for a title change?
Well, what I was going to say is exactly that. She just came back from injury. I feel like they had Marina Shafir, or Marina Shafir, as others like to call her.
Yeah.
And Megan Bayne teaming together. We had that tag team while Penelope was injured. Penelope was still coming out with Megan and Marina at that time.
Yeah.
So I feel like that was to kind of fill some time, right? Even though Megan and Marina were freaking awesome as a tag team, and they could be unstoppable if given the right, run. But I think that we've only had one women's tag champ, and that's who has it now? Yeah, Babes of Wrath. So
Willow and Harley.
So I think that I wouldn't be mad if we had a title change tonight. Because Penelope Ford, she just got back from injury. She's been doing good with Megan Bayne. They've had a couple of matches since she's been back, 2 or 3 matches, I think. I wouldn't be mad at a title change because you can, as we were talking about hot potato earlier, the women's tag team championship.
People say.
Yeah.
The women's tag team championships could be, they're new, so give them some time to be elevated and being passed around between teams and stuff. So I'm not mad at a title change with the women's tag team championships.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but it's half of the Babes of Wrath, it's their homeland, so it would personally, and selfishly, because I'm a big fan of hers, I want to see the Wrath go over big in Australia because I don't mind them losing the titles, but I just want to see Harley have that moment.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
I just want her to have that. That kid works hard. You know what? We all know that Bully is he's a tough guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's a character, but he's honest. And that guy doesn't put the shine to just anybody. He doesn't put the shine on someone because they're pretty or because they're big and strong. He has to see something else, and he sees it in her. And this is one of the many wrestlers that not many wrestlers that he gives the ultimate shine to. He gives respect to wrestlers, but to go above and beyond. So I want to see, personally for her, I want to hear friggin' people blowing smoke up her ass on our shows after and Busted Open and all the wrestling news. So that's
right.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Let's talk about the main event.
Yeah.
Tonight. MJF versus Big Bad Brody King. For the AEW Men's World Championship. And something that came together very quickly, but I don't mind that. And again, I don't really see Brody winning, but then again, we didn't see him winning the Eliminator match that set up this match.
Right.
So we still have that. Well, he did it once. MJF is beatable, regardless of what he says. So it's one of them things.
John, that match in its entirety could be like a 30-second like promo clip that AEW could play at any time they want, rather than have Excalibur rush on to the next friggin' thing to promote.
Well, we can't. They haven't quite yet. They haven't quite found his off switch yet. I wish they would once in a while. But anyway, again, this was something that came together very quickly. That absolutely, you talk about holy shit moments. Brody having MJF draped over the ring in that hanging, chokehold out, and that's it. And it was very quick, and people were genuinely shocked. And it didn't need a great story to it. Brody is extremely popular, and why not? Because going back to what I said earlier about it being a very crowded picture around the world title in AEW right now, with a lot of the big names in the company in that conversation, here comes Brody King, kind of out of nowhere.
Yeah,
I mean, yes,
but not out of nowhere though, John, because you know what? Brody King and Bandito have reignited the fire under, I believe, the OG Ring of Honor fans. And they've just got to come around on the paywall side and whatever deals come in the future. But I'm saying, like, you know what I mean? Like, John, you perked up when you saw Brodito come out of freaking nowhere in that tournament.
I was absolutely. I'm like, I never thought I would see this, but goddamn it, we got
Briscoe too. So I mean, like, you really, like, say what you will about Tony. Like, he knows that you got to get that Ring of Honor, and if he doesn't know, people tweet him out there and point it out that hey, look at all of these Ring of Honor alumni. That the people that sickos are going absolutely rabid over.
Yeah. No, he for sure knows. But I think, like you said, John, it didn't have a whole ton of story going into it, but it has become a story. And it got a lot of people talking.
Yeah. Yep. And it's one of these things. I'll say personally, I didn't have a Brody King versus MJF for the AEW title on my bingo card. I'm absolutely excited as all hell that it's there, but it wasn't on my bingo card given the other names in and around the title picture right now. Right. AEW. But, again, why not? Shake things up. Keep them guessing.
Yep, exactly. If all we've achieved by doing this, having Brody King versus MJF, yes, he surprised everyone by winning that eliminator match, right? To get this championship match tonight. Because I don't see MJF losing. But if all we've achieved is elevating Brody King to main event status, then it's a win-win, in my opinion. Because
and isn't that usually the point?
Yep. Yeah. I mean, every main eventer does not have to be centered around the world championship. You can have a main eventer and be a main eventer and then get to that title eventually. But I think right now with the title picture looking pretty crowded, okay, add Brody King to the main event status. Okay, that I can see Brody King being a main eventer. He's always been entertaining on my television, but now he's got main event status attached to his name. So if all they have achieved tonight is elevating him, what does Bully say? Someone gets over and someone got over.
Yeah. Right. Well, one thing, Tony, you can always have. There's always a series too, because now they're 1-1. If MJF goes over tonight, it's 1-1. So we're even, bro. We go at each other again sooner or later, and sometime in the future. And number two is, I've accused AEW of not having a storyline go good here or there, or not have a story here or there at all. I don't think I've ever said that with MJ when MJF is involved. It's always like he's a master. Whatever he get, you know what? Even if let's for argument's sake, Tony is 100%. Boom, says no, you're doing this. MJF is going to take chicken shit to chicken salad. You know what I mean? So it doesn't matter. I have faith in that boy.
Yeah.
Just a quick comment.
I don't love
AEW,
but I have faith
on AEW overall. We've talked in the past on the past shows and on Zoom and stuff about AEW tightening their own screws, maturing as a product. And I think that the reason why the title picture is so crowded right now, and you have a lot of names, because they kind of got bit in the ass last year. You didn't have MJF. You didn't have Swerve Strickland. You didn't have Will Ospreay. You still don't have Will Ospreay.
Or Kenny Omega.
Or have Kenny. But if you look at the title picture right now, you have 4 or 5 guys in and around, including the champion MJF, that, and they did what they had to do. I mean, no disrespect to Samoa Joe's title reign or even Hangman's title reign. But, when you have limited options to draw people in, you got to make do with what you have. But now they're basically setting it up that, God forbid, any one of them get hurt or Will Ospreay doesn't come back in a month or so when he's supposed to be.
I want to ask Deb a question. Ospreay, come back. Announce, hey, Will Ospreay is coming back this day. Lights off, lights on. Ospreay's there, or
well, if it's announced of what show he's coming back, then you don't need to do a lights on.
Yeah,
lights
you
off,
don't want
on,
that. So you want a surprise. What kind of surprise do you want?
But even I just want his music to hit. Like, we don't need to do a lights off. Just have have a moment built into the show that allows for, maybe a lull where the crowd kind of goes quiet, build the anticipation, and then boom, hit his music.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll go with that. I like that.
Yeah.
All right.
Sorry, John.
Yeah.
One other point I'd like to make. I have been enjoying every minute of MJF's media tour that he's been doing in Australia for this match. He has been throwing shade at kangaroos, throwing shade at koala bears. Oh, and speaking of kangaroos, shout out to my cousin Marsha, who might be watching. Her and her husband, they have a few kangaroos on their ranch in Katy, Texas. So, so they actually raise kangaroos, and it's pretty interesting. But yeah, MJF, throwing shade at all these, even the giant spiders, So yeah, MJF is gold on television. Anything he's doing. The promo he did Saturday night, they included it in the package they did Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
Great. I mean, MJF is my, bar none, my favorite wrestler right now across everything.
Yeah, he's brilliant. And I will say, you mentioned like the media stuff that especially he's been doing, that they've been in Australia the past couple days. That's something that I've noticed that AEW has drastically improved is their social media content. They churn out a ton of content. Like you just go look on their Instagram and the amount of posts you have to scroll through just to find something that happened 2 days ago. They put out so much content. They've done a much better job recently of doing a lot of like post show, like social media exclusive promos and then showing it on the next show after that. They've been doing that a lot. But yeah, the social media content that MJF has put out the past couple of days is insane. And I want to shout out the interview with Chris Van Vliet that just came out yesterday. I actually watched it on YouTube. I don't normally watch podcasts. I usually just listen, but I watched it on YouTube and it was incredible.
Awesome.
So Tony mentioned giant spiders. With that's a good transition into the women's championship between.
Thank you. You stole my point because the big thing coming out of Dynamite this past Wednesday is we have a new AEW Women's World Champion, the Toxic Spider.
That's right.
Lindsay Snow's European cousin. Tekla.
Right? Right? Yeah,
Tekla
another
is your
shocking
women's
moment.
women's world champion, beating Chris Statlander in a strap match. First of all, shout out to both of those crazy bitches for beating the hell out of each other in that match. And
Straplander.
Yeah, Straplander.
Yeah. And Bryan Danielson mentioned on commentary that was the same strap that he used in his match and has his blood on it.
Yes.
That is such an incredible detail for him to say on commentary, and something that AEW could kind of use in the future, like throughout their history, is use the same exact strap every time that they have a strap match.
He's so good on commentary.
Yes,
he is.
Tony, right? Oh man, man, and man, man. What a match!
Yeah, it was a fantastic match.
At the end, the match was friggin' awesome. And
it was
so happy.
Those two women absolutely brought it and showed just how tough they are.
And you saw her not even able to keep whatever face you want to put on it, that killer heel face.
Yeah,
she was full of emotion. She was so friggin'
as she should have been.
As she should have been, because that woman's on fire.
Yeah, she's a heel, and the Triangle of Madness is a heel faction. But in that moment, seeing that genuine, joy, elation from her, remember, this isn't a homegrown talent. This is a talent that came in from another part of the world. She had wrestled in New Japan and Stardom. Got over very quickly with the AEW fan base. And, again,
she's AEW's like Stephanie Vaquer. Like, just came in and bam, on fire. But, like, internationally, like up here, nobody knew it, but they come in and just like the pop and stuff that they have.
Yeah, I think prior to her getting to AEW, though, or when she was coming, now remember they did those series of like little vignettes in the spider graphic and all that, cool. And everybody's like, "Who the fuck is this?"
Yep.
And I think it was me and Neil who were the only ones that oh, that's Tekla. And they're like, "Who's Tekla?" I'm like, "No, it's not who's Tekla. It's what is Tekla."
Yeah, what is Tekla?
And what she is now is the AEW Women's Champion.
And they hooked her up with two young talents that are gonna like already have say what you will about what happened the other night. Just still that faction is that's like one of my favorite. That's my favorite women's heel faction. That's for sure.
Yeah. And
I want to give a shout out to Statlander quick before we move on. I think Statlander, she's spoken openly about kind of having a hard time finding her character, and a lot of the other women on the roster have very defined characters. And but kind of under the radar, she did have a really good championship run. Nobody can say that it was a wasted championship run or anything. She had some really incredible matches along the way, and I think one of the biggest areas that she's struggling with is finding that connection with the crowd. She has amazing matches and she has an amazing look. But it's a common thing that I've seen a lot of people discuss is finding that connection with the crowd, really honing on what her character is. And she, she's spoken openly in a couple interviews recently about that. So, she's definitely improving, but she I think she mentioned even she's now a 2-time champion. So, this isn't over. Like, just because she's lost, she's not over. Like, she's still going to keep going.
Nothing is over. Nothing
is over to underground.
First of all, I want to shout out this guy and GFY. I know he hasn't heard that in a while, but dude, I don't disagree.
That's my strong girl.
The whole idea is you have a division with Tony Storm and Mercedes Moné.
Yeah.
It's hard to be anybody else and move the needle.
Right.
It's and it's not AEW's fault, and it certainly isn't any of the talent's fault. It's just the way it is right now, especially with the fan base. Tony Storm hasn't been near a title in 6 months, but yet nobody seems to think that's important.
Right.
But she's still the biggest draw, one of the biggest draws in the company, and certainly the biggest draw fan wise in the women's division. So
because she's a character and she wrestles phenomenally.
Well, and
she's so great on the mic, like she's a 5-tool player.
Yeah, and like I said, no disrespect to the other female talent, but that's kind of a hard mountain to climb to get on her level, especially with the fan base. So, but again, they're shaking things up. I could see Tekla eventually becoming a champion or being the picture. Not this fast. She hasn't even been in the company a year yet. But if you're going to shake things up, shake them up.
Yep.
When's the last time we saw a title change on a regular Wednesday night show?
Right.
It does happen, but not that, and it happens in AEW especially, but you don't see that in WWE or anybody else for that matter.
Yeah.
So I say again, kudos AEW, giving people something to talk about, something people to think about, bringing in different names into the conversation instead of the same old, top 5 guys and or girls.
Right. All right, let's move on. We got 15 minutes left before Grand Slam starts. So what do you all want to talk about next?
What about last night? We had a Steven Seagal. Oh, wait, no, it's not a Steven Seagal movie. It was a TNA pay-per-view. No Surrender, which probably is somewhere a Steven Seagal movie title, because we all know that TNA loves Steven Seagal movie titles and Phil Collins songs.
Yeah.
Or Genesis, yes.
Yeah, or Genesis. But yeah, we had No Surrender last night. It was one of what I call the cheapy pay-per-views. Yeah, the cheapy pay-per-views. They're only $10 on Triller or free if you have TNA Plus. But again, it's only a $10 show. It doesn't watch or act like a $10 show. It acts like a $40 pay-per-view. And that's exactly what we saw last night. Because even there, speaking of title changes, we have a new women's knockout champion.
Yes, we do.
Santino's baby girl.
Wow.
Ariana Grace from NXT.
Nice.
Daddy's little girl.
Daddy's little girl is now the Knockouts champion. And
awesome.
And I know a lot of people, and I even saw it this morning in kind of reactionary stuff. I'll say this right off the bat. Even if it didn't go the way it went and she won, I was very impressed with Ariana Grace, the way she wrestled Lei Ying Lee. And this is a girl that I understand that she worked very hard. Her father is a very well-respected, not just character, but trainer in real life, runs his own wrestling school. And she's been in the NXT system for quite a while. But that girl has really learned how to wrestle.
She's putting in some extra time, man.
Whatever she did, it absolutely worked, because that was a really good match to watch last night. And
it was.
And there were many points that I found myself saying, damn, she can win this.
Dude, that's kind of the idea. Important things. She got the character over, super over, and then said, now what else do I have to work on? I got to work on that in-ring, and the mic stuff, and forget about it. I mean, it's just she's doing great, and kudos. You're right.
So I will say that yes, that match was great. She definitely impressed me with her wrestling, especially against someone like Lei Ying Lee. I wasn't ready for her to lose yet, but on the other hand, I will say that last night after Ariana won, and then she had the promo, the backstage promo with Stax.
Yeah.
Yeah, with
and
Stax lost,
honestly,
so.
that was the first moment I had ever been at all interested in that storyline. She, like, the way that she said that promo, like, that was, like I said, that was the first time I'd ever been at all interested in the storyline because of what she said and how she said it.
Well, I am so happy that Ariana Grace is the champion. I was wondering, when she first, she was doing that heel thing with Stax, and then she came to her dad and apologized to him and everything else. I thought immediately it was a work. She was trying to pull the wool over our eyes and do more of a heel thing.
Right.
But she got the title match, and I didn't get to see it, unfortunately, but I'll go back and watch it. I'm so happy that she is putting in the work, and she's the new TNA Women's Champion, which is nice, Knockouts Champion. So yeah, it's what we were talking about earlier, shaking things up. Let's give her a chance to run with it and see what happens. And I want to make a quick point. So how everyone on Busted Open, Bully and Dave, talk about the TNA pay-per-views and they equate them to either Steven Seagal movie or Phil Collins music. Well, I just did a little research. Steven Seagal, Phil Collins, what decade are they the most famous in? The 80s.
80s.
What other martial arts movie in the 80s that starred Jean-Claude Van Damme? No Retreat, No Surrender.
There we go.
Interesting. Okay.
Interesting. But also last night on No Surrender, we had another title change. We have a new international champion, formerly held by Channing Stax Lorenzo from NXT. But all, the Treehouse is back, baby. Trey Miguel is your new TNA international champion. Pin Stax and beat him. So even though they're divided, the Treehouse is still very strong and actually wearing gold. And I'm sure the other members in AEW will be wearing gold soon as well. And I'm very happy.
Some might call him the original Bouncy Boy.
Could be. He has lit the X Division in TNA, especially on fire, for quite a long time. But congratulations, Trey. And after the month this guy had, to see him actually go over and win some gold feels pretty good.
And you saw J-Rob's real emotion on his face too. So.
Yeah. That guy has actually been through it, and to see him now come the other side and be a champion. And we've seen him before as a one half of a tag championship, and of course, I believe he's a multi-time X Division champion. He knows how to work with the championship. He knows how to make it work. So I have no doubt that this is going to be a good run for Trey, and I'm very happy for him. But we also had, in our lights on, lights off moment of the night from TNA, a Hall of Famer show up during the women's knockout tag team match. Hardcore Country himself. It's Mickey James. Nick Aldis' wife. That one. Came out and made an appearance and got physical. Still looks absolutely phenomenal. Still out there beating people up and kicking ass in 6-inch stiletto heels.
I just
how the women do that. I applaud all of you. My ankles hurt just watching you through the ring. My ankles hurt, or my ankle hurts. But and a nice just random out of the blue thing, no story, no nothing, no I'm going to appear. She just hit the music and out she came, pissed the flying, and it was a great moment. It was a very, very
phenomenal
cool
as always.
Yes, absolutely phenomenal. still absolutely looks like she could go 30 minutes with anybody at any time.
Now,
Yeah.
John, did you pull that ankle joke string because you sensed that I was just going to hit you with it anyway? So you just said, "Let me pull the wind out of his sails."
I mean, it is true. I only have one.
I know.
You know,
Listen, if we're anything, we're all.
I mean, I can show you that I only have one. But anyway, but again, and you know, TNA have always done these. They do their pay-per-views a lot more frequently than AEW and they use them kind of to bridge the gap in between.
Right.
You know, now they're not yet doing live shows every week, even though they're doing very well according to all the industry reports. They're doing very well on AMC, but they still are using these pay-per-views to move stories along and or start new ones. You know, because if you want to look hard enough or you're an asshole and read dirt sheets, you can find out, you know, all the results from all the TNA tapings basically the day after they happen.
Yeah.
But they do a great job with that, just like I said, bridging the gap. So, you know, and it's $10.
Right.
$10 friggin' dollars.
Or get the yearly membership for TNA Plus. And then, and then you don't.
They're all included.
Yeah.
So, you know, and it's cool to be able to have another option of, you know, live pay-per-view wrestling that you don't have to sell the mortgage or, well, some of us travel overseas, but you know, but you know, not a lot of hoops to jump through to see it. But I thought it was a good show. It didn't have a lot of star power. I mean, you had the Hardys. You had Mike Santana, you had Leon Slater, you had the big names, but they weren't in matches that really meant much of anything, or didn't, you know, seemingly didn't mean much of anything. What happens from here?
Yeah,
who's to say? But
and they also have the tapings going on tonight, so
so
you know,
we're going to see fall out from that, and they. Well, I will say just because TNA does that format of running a pay-per-view on a Friday and doing tapings on a Saturday, or even Saturday, Sunday for that matter, they do a real good recap and fallout from, you know, the previous pay-per-view. Putting that on the television. So even if you didn't see it or didn't get a chance to watch it on your own, they catch you up very quickly of like why they're doing this week on TV from the pay-per-view. So
before we finish, I know Tony, you had a point about NXT that you wanted to get in. So I want to give you a moment.
Yeah. Thank you, Deb. Okay, so earlier this week on Busted Open After Dark with Uncle Bully, he had JC Jane on. And you know, I've been seeing JC Jane on NXT television for a while now, and yeah, she's a heel. Yeah, she's the leader of a group on NXT. But, you know, I haven't heard much from her as far as media goes or interviews go or whatever. And her with Bully on After Dark, I thoroughly enjoyed her interview. She is very good in an interview status. And, you know, things she was talking about is that she's ready for the main roster. She's ready for that call up, you know, and she was wanting to be up there sometime before, but whatever happens, and she stayed on NXT. And now we have Sol Ruca, you know, vying for that championship. And I think there's a possibility that we may see a new women's champion in Sol Ruca. And then we see a story with her and Zarya, because that is building as well on the split up of them. I know John doesn't like to hear that, but
I'm not listening.
But yeah,
blasphemy. Don't do blasphemy on this show.
But I just wanted to give JC Jane some flowers and talk about how good she is on the mic. She's good in interviews. I think she's ready for that main roster. And I'm also ready to see Sol Ruca be elevated. We all know she's ready for that championship. I mean, she shined in the Royal Rumble. she freaking was the last in the final 3.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I think Sol Ruca is ready for that spot as the world champion as well. And I just wanted to give JC some props.
So JC goes to the main roster. Who would you like to see her in her first rivalry with?
Well, then she falls into that Roxanne Perez category with, do you want to see, you don't want to see him just go to the main roster and just go to catering.
Right.
You want to see them actually be in a program. I don't know. I mean, who is Roxanne Perez feuding with right now? She's not really feuding with anybody. She's kind of in a. Go ahead, John.
The easy route would be somebody that JC has history with, especially from NXT.
Mm-hmm.
But the one problem is almost all the people that she has history with don't work at the company no more. So, I mean, and it's the land of make-believe. They can come up with anybody, but I agree. I don't want to, just like Roxanne Perez, we all knew that she was more than ready for the main roster, but we didn't want to see her get lost in the shuffle.
Right.
And I feel the same way about JC. I don't want to see her get called up and then just get, become part of the sauce. I want, I wanted to have something, and I think that if they wait, like they did with Roxanne, and bring her in at a specific point, and then have something to go with, it'll be much better. So I'm in no hurry to see her. But on the other hand, however, she's been champion a long time. She's a 2-time champion. And we're almost to the point where she's out of new challenges.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, it seems to be leaning towards Sol Ruca.
Mm-hmm.
But it's good. I'll almost guarantee it's going to be Sol will win the championship at some point, and very quickly afterwards, she'll be up to the main roster. And then we'll be back to the same thing. So, on one hand, I want to see her move up because she absolutely deserves it, but I don't want to see her move up because, she's kind of the top dog of the women's division at NXT right now.
Mm-hmm.
And, to go from that to the bottom rung on the main roster, that doesn't really do her any good either. So it's going to be interesting on how that works out.
Yeah, it's an interesting scenario nonetheless. I just figured I'd give her some shout out, give her some props because she deserves it.
And remember, this girl is a badass. She walked up to Uncle Bully and said, "Who's on your show tonight?"
Yeah.
And he goes, "No, I'm on your show tonight."
Yep.
And Bully's like, "Oh,
props
okay."
For that.
Yep.
Props
okay.
for that.
So,
all right, let's bring this thing home.
All right.
Yes.
Let's bring it home. Quick shout out. 11 o'clock tonight. GCW is out at their West Coast home, the UCC Ukrainian Cultural Center in Los Angeles. I don't remember the name of the pay-per-view. It's not highest in the room. But they're on tonight they're on tonight, 11 p.m. Eastern on Triller, as always. Besides, so when you're done watching Collision tonight, you can wait around for a half hour and watch GC Dub.
The Coldest Winter 4 is what it's called.
There you go.
Yeah, that's not an 80s movie, so they're good.
No, they certainly do not make their titles after 80s movies.
No, they don't.
Tony, where can the folks get with you on the social medias?
You can find me at Tony Justice AJFA on all platforms: TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. Notice I put that
TWI
accent. Yeah. And if you're a Metallica fan, like I know all of us are, you know what that means. Ooh.
Michael.
The first 5 albums more than the rest, but yes, a big fan, and I still love him. Hey, just want to give a shout out to Gabby Forza because I just received the new shirt today. If you're a King Diamond fan and a Gabby Forza
fan. I can't see it. Hold it up more. There you go.
Give me your gnomes, please. King Diamond is give me your soul, please.
Nice.
Gabby, you rule. She's a metalhead.
She's the best.
And Lodestone, one of the Lodestone shining stars. Let's go.
Mongrovian
Let's
Mike.
go.
Go, Deb.
Deb.
All right, at That's So Debonair on all the socials, Twitter machine, Instagram, Blue Sky, everywhere. Click the link. That's it.
Click the link. Anyway, I am John in South Jersey on the Instagram and the Twitter. And also on Instagram is where you can keep up with the exploits of the most dangerous weapon in all of professional wrestling. Of course, I'm talking about the AK9K, the Ass Kicker 9000, and you can follow all of his exploits at Ass Kicker 9K. So for myself, for my unusual cast of usual characters, we will see you all next week. Good night.